If you need to avoid certain foods just to keep your symptoms in check, this episode is going to be your wake-up call. Food reactions aren't random, and they're not something you have to live with forever. Today, we are breaking down what your symptoms after eating are really trying to tell you and why restriction is not your long-term solution. Let's shift the focus from what you're avoiding to what your body actually needs to heal. Hey there, I'm Jessica Washington, a former gut health patient turned functional nutrition practitioner, and I am on a mission to help you finally say goodbye to stubborn stomach symptoms and reclaim your life with confidence. On the Getting Well Again podcast, we dive deep into the root causes of gut issues, sharing real strategies that actually work to help you feel like yourself again. Healing your stomach is about so much more than just protocols. So get comfortable, take a deep breath, and let's dive into this journey to lasting gut health together. And as a reminder, this podcast is for educational purposes only and is not a replacement for medical advice or treatment. All right, well, hey, we are rolling now in this Summer of Stomach Healing podcast series. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can probably tell I have not changed my shirt. I'm recording all of these all at once. So bear with me. This is number 4. No, but this is going to be my last one for today. And then you'll see me in some different clothes, hopefully. Anyways, welcome. I'm glad you're back. This is my podcast series for the summer where I'm doing a bunch of mini episodes that give you just the real talk, like no fluff, just telling it like it is. Like if you really want to heal and if you really want to get lasting relief from your stomach symptoms, this is the stuff you're really going to have to do. And so I decided to put these all in a bunch of little mini episodes for the summer because I thought that would be valuable. So this is our 4th installment in this series. And so if you have not already, I would highly recommend going back and listening to the others because it's a lot of mindset shifts and new perspectives and strategies to help you be able to start seeing lasting relief from your symptoms. And so today we're going to talk a little bit more about physical things, but if you don't have those mindset shifts and that foundation laid from the first 3 episodes, this is not going to be as impactful. So please go back and listen to those. They're quick. They're short. You can do it in less than an hour. But if you are already caught up, today's episode is hopefully going to really shift the way that you see your symptoms and your food reactions entirely. Because if you've been needing to avoid certain foods to keep your stomach symptoms in check, if you feel like even the smallest amounts of the wrong food sets off your symptoms, or if you've just really built your diet around what doesn't cause symptoms, and you're left with only a handful of quote unquote safe foods, that is unfortunately a red flag. Let's all wave our red flag, right? It's not a sign that your body's just sensitive. Having food reactions and not being able to eat whatever you want doesn't just mean that you're sensitive. It's a sign that something deeper is going on and that your symptoms after eating certain foods are trying to bring your attention to that deeper thing. So today I am going to chat about what these food reactions are really telling you and why needing to restrict your way to symptom relief is not the long-term solution. So let's start with this fact. In a healthy body, food is not the enemy. Your body is designed to break down food, to absorb nutrients, and to use what you eat to do things like repair tissue, make energy, support digestion, balance hormones, so many things. Food is fuel, it's nourishment, it is what your body is meant to use to sustain itself. And so, if certain foods are constantly causing you pain or reflux or bloating or other symptoms, it's not because you just have food sensitivities and that's life. It's because something in your system is out of balance and those food sensitivities are your body's way of waving that red flag and being like, hey, help. There's something else going on under the surface here that we need some help with. Because needing to avoid foods to feel okay is really one of the first clues that deeper support is necessary in order to feel your best. So, what's really going on when your body starts reacting to food? Here are a few of the most common reasons why you are experiencing stomach symptoms or bloating or whatever is happening when you eat certain foods. First, you have low stomach acid or poor digestive enzyme production. If your stomach isn't producing enough acid, or your pancreas isn't releasing digestive enzymes, food does not get broken down properly, and that leads to symptoms like reflux, bloating, discomfort, gas, all of those things that you can experience after meals. Another common reason why you're having food reactions is you have inflammation in your stomach lining. When your stomach lining is irritated or damaged, which is super common in people who have or have had H. pylori, even normal foods can start to feel like giant threats. You may develop increased food sensitivities or increased reactions to food, not because the food is the issue, but because your body is inflamed and just inherently reactive. Another reason why you might be having food reactions is that your nervous system is stuck in fight or flight. When you're constantly stressed or anxious or just hyper vigilant about things, your body shuts off digestion. When you're in that sympathetic fight or flight state, your body is not prioritizing digesting food. It has bigger fish to fry. It has tigers to run away from. It has famines to survive. And so all of its resources are being shuttled towards keeping your heart rate up, your blood pressure up, your fast twitch muscles working properly, because you don't need to digest food if you're in a constant state of stress. And so that whole scenario means that food sits longer in your stomach, it ferments, and it triggers symptoms, not because of the food itself, but because of the state that your body was in when you ate it. And so, if you've been relying on food restrictions just to feel okay, and it feels like that safe list is getting smaller and smaller, please know that restricting more and more food is not the path to healing. And I know it may feel necessary, and at times, eliminating certain foods can be a useful tool when used in the short term. But in reality, food restriction is just another form of symptom management. And if that's the case for you, avoiding a food might bring short-term relief. And in some cases, like when you're actively working on gut healing, short-term avoidance of certain foods can be strategic. But if your long-term plan is to just keep avoiding more and more foods so you don't experience symptom flares, that's just a signal that you're managing symptoms, not resolving them. And so the goal is never to stay on a restricted diet forever. The goal is to create a body and a system that can tolerate foods again like it was meant to. And that's the main reason why in my Goodbye Stomach Symptoms program, I don't just hand clients a list of foods to eat and a list of foods to avoid, because that's not the point. Not at all. We go so much deeper than that and address the reasons why your body is reacting to the unique foods that you are reacting to in the first place. And then once we can figure that out, we build a plan to support your digestion, to calm inflammation, and to create safety in your body again so that you can actually expand your diet and get back to eating in a way that you want to. And so everyone that goes through Goodbye Stomach Symptoms is able to expand their diet from where they were previously. And that's because we are addressing the underlying causes, that inflammation, that poor digestion, all of the things that are the reasons why you're not able to eat the things you want to eat. And so the big truth that I want you to walk away with today is if you are only symptom free when you're avoiding certain foods, your symptoms have not been solved. They've just been silenced, they've been covered up, they've been managed. And while food reactions are not fun, we don't want to react to our foods, they're also incredibly helpful to take note of. They point you towards what still needs support. They help you get curious with your body. They're just signals from your body asking for more attention and more support. And if you use them as guidance, they're not something to fear. They're something that you can work with and learn from. So I hope that is a valuable mental shift, along with giving you some insight around why these food reactions are actually occurring, so that you can take steps to stop them and actually heal what needs to be healed so that you can feel better and eat what you want. So, in the next episode, we are going to talk about something that directly affects your ability to process food and regulate symptoms, which is your nervous system. My favorite thing to talk about. So, if you've ever noticed that stress makes your stomach symptoms worse, or that you tend to have symptom flares when you're anxious or overwhelmed, you're gonna want to be here for next week. So, stay tuned. It's gonna be great. But until then, thank you so much for being here, for hanging with me as I deliriously record all of these podcast episodes during my summer of full-time momming. But I hope it's helpful and valuable, and you're able to just get these bite-sized mindset shifts and things that are really going to help move the needle on your symptoms into your earbuds and just start taking action on them. Anyways, that's all I have for today. I will see you next week. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the Getting Well Again podcast. If you found today's conversation helpful, please subscribe and leave a review on Apple Podcasts. Your feedback really helps others who need this information find the show and start their own healing journey. And if you know someone who'd benefit, please feel free to share this episode with them too. See you next time.